Plastic milk bottles can be used to make a Viking ship, but we need more than just the bottle. It doesn't look the right shape for a Viking ship, so we've got to do something about that. I think by the time we've finished, we may well have used a number of different techniques to shape the boat properly. And of course, we'd like to make it float as well. Now, if we're just using plastic, that's waterproof, but card is needed to create a shape. So we've got that little problem of waterproofing it to overcome, which we'll see in a later video. Yeah, we're going. Let's think about this. We have to create the classic Viking ship front and back, and in order to do that, we need some form of a card template to try it out. So, with some plain card, a long strip of it, if we fold it in half, let's imagine when you open that out, that could be shaped around the front, and then this part would be shaped into the classic curved Viking ship front end of the boat, the prow, and then this part here shaped the same way, because Viking ships had virtually the same profile, front and rear, stern and prow. So there we go. Something like that. That's not quite right though. We've got to experiment with this. Perhaps paper would be best first. The basic idea is there's our front, the very front part of the board, and we've got to try and create a curve there. Now if we cut through that fold, if we cut through the fold all the way, it'll fall into two halves, so we don't want to do that. So let's assume this is the bottom part of the ship that's in the water. We're just going to gradually come up like that to a point maybe there. Now leave a little bit of it without cutting it, go further up, and now we'll try and create that lovely curved part that sweeps right back. So that might look something like that. There it goes. And now let's curve it back down again. Now, where do we finish? Because this has to line up, doesn't it? It looks to me like somewhere along, pretty close to where I finished that cut, is where it levels off. So let's give that a try. There it goes. And you'll see that little bit at the front has made the two parts stay together. Let's just fit it on, see what that looks like. Turn it sideways. As you can see, it's starting to take the appearance of the Viking ship. We'll try and get it as symmetrical as you possibly can. Line it up like that. And then glue isn't very good for sticking plastic to paper. So sticky tape's ideal for this. So if you start at one side, bit of tape about there, curl it over, make sure the bottle's dry, and now we've got to get that one to line up perfectly with it. Otherwise the front end will be twisted one way or the other, so we've got to try and get that perfectly in line. So this might take a little bit of thought and a little bit of trial and error. Maybe you unpick the tape if you get it wrong. Sometimes it's not until you actually stick the tape and press it on that you get the final position for it, but I'm reasonably happy with that. I'm reasonably happy. We can get a better curve look if we bring that in closer, so we'll sort of close the curve up, and that always makes it look better. Don't worry about it now though. We want a few more bits of tape there and a few more bits of tape there. So make sure you've got lots of tape handy. Rub it on. That gets all the air bubbles out from underneath the tape, but it sticks an awful lot better. I always find that masking tape's far better for jobs like this. Later on, you see, we're probably going to cover the thing in a type of glue or paint, or paper mâché is probably the best medium to use. And then all this tape will be glued on again. So don't worry about it sort of peeling back off again. Once it's under a layer of papier mâché or paint, I'm sure it'll be fine. There it goes. Fabulous. Now, because the bottom part doesn't look like a board anymore, it would be great if we use more card, just scraps that you've cut off, and then sticky tape that on and create the part that's in the water. And that could be done just like that, look. Fit that in there. And this is all going to be covered later, so don't worry about it. Sticky tape it like that, and then you're starting to pull in the shape of the board as well. Let's have a look. Next one. Let's try a little bit of tape at the very top where the sort of Viking figurehead would be. Let's just try and pull that in. Let's see if that improves the shape as well. Twist it off to the side of it there. Straighten it up. Yeah, I think that looks okay. Fabulous. So we need more card going round there and round there. Be careful, if you use really thick strips you can't get the shape. So if you use thinner strips to come round and smaller pieces of tape, you'll get a beautiful shape at the front. Well, rather than me repeat the whole thing for the back end, here's a one that I did earlier. You can see by now I've got loads of bits of tape on it. There we are. Haven't finished the card at the back. And then I've put these parts in. What you realise is when you start sticking lots of card to it, it starts to pull on the plastic and distort the shape. So I've sticky taped more card across the top and down the sides, and that's kept the shape of the ball much better. As you can see, those little bits of tape around there have created a very nice curve. So it's starting to look a lot more like a Viking ship. Well, see how much progress you make with that, and then we'll come back and continue that later.